I got a sign. How cool is that? Cool. My name's Adam. I'm a time-based art student at Duncan and Johnston, and as part of my study and practice, I've been looking at interactive films and kind of the relationship audience have with what's on screen. So to kick off, traditional cinema is quite a passive medium. You go into a dark room with an audience and sit there for 2 hours watching things unfold. I think it's possibly time that we can change that. Contemporary cinema should be able to make the audience a key feature of a show rather than just, as I say, a spectator. The bridging of this gap has been considered by some to be a bit gimmicky, 3D specs and that kind of thing. I think the only difference between an innovation and a gimmick is its success. Every medium goes through phases. Radio has gone through it, television's gone through it, the internet changed everything. And it's all down to experimentation, which we filmmakers need to kind of, acknowledge and try and roll with. With access to virtual reality and streaming services, a new audience is starting to be born, which doesn't rely on just being at a certain place at a certain time to see something. They want it now, they want it the way they want it, i.e. you can watch what you want on Netflix whenever you want it. The video game industry has obviously been a big part of this. They cater towards individual entertainment as much as they can. But they also border with interactive cinema quite a lot. Even Until Dawn was released this year, and that is a slasher flick that you, as the participant, get to choose the actions of the characters. It's in these merging of player and viewer that interactive cinema is going to thrive. Oh, that's what I hope anyway, or else I might have a job. As I say, every medium has to evolve with the times. This is an example of dubstep drama, which gave you two options that you got to choose. But anyway, down to our interactive part. This is the bit you guys kind of voted for earlier with the clapometer that didn't really work, but kudos for trying. It's a unique storyline that's been created for this evening. So anyway, let's start. You start as a member of a talk, creative talk. Let's call it Kucha. You're a bit nervous. You're on stage. There's a lot of people looking at you. So you decide to think back on some advice you were given on how to deal with a stressful situation. So you decide to concentrate as much as you can, get through it as best you can. Unfortunately, you concentrate too much, and that microphone just picked up that. Everyone looks at you. They're a little bit concerned at what's just happened. Oh no, it's awfully embarrassing for you. So the next part, how do you deal with this? Well, thankfully everyone's really quiet. They want to know what's going to happen next. But obviously there's one guy in the crowd, the heckler. He starts laughing, pointing, jeering. He's making you feel a bit silly, honestly, considering you've just farted on stage. How are you going to deal with this? Well, again, you think back to advice you've been given, and it's put them down as obviously as possible. Assert your dominance. So you turn the tables, you heckle the heckler. Genius. He's not too chuffed with this as everyone starts turning their fingers and pointing at him, making him feel really silly. Unfortunately, this isn't just any old punter. You have actually just antagonized an axe-wielding psychopath. Oh no, that was bad timing, wasn't it? So he starts pushing his way through the crowd. He's coming to get you. He's not happy at all. Patrick Bateman does not like to be jeered. Then you think, oh dear, imposing threat. What shall I do? Well, as you know what happens, you chose to run away. But unfortunately, running away is like catnip to psychos, and he catches you, hogties you, throws you in the back of his van, and takes you to his lair where you're made to watch with all his psycho buddies, Katy Perry, the musical, on repeat, forevermore. And that's the end of the story. So, as I say, an interactive story. Imagine if we could do that in a film. That'd be really cool. This is the variations that we could have had this evening. We had zombies, we had aliens, we had robots. I'll put these up online for everyone to watch, just see how it could have turned out. But this immersion does have its pros and cons. For one, the workload when you have to create so many storylines is massive. Trying to cater to such a wide variety of people, you have to take on a lot of different points of view. And the content of a short film, for example, can have a feature's length worth of content that's never seen. So that's going to be difficult. Sorry, I'm racing along here. The various methods of showing these can be difficult too, whether it's physically changing a reel, clicking on a different video. Yeah, there's loads of stuff involving third-party programs and even calling people in the cinema to change what happens on screen. It doesn't always work out for everyone as well. You run the risk of isolating people when you have to pick a choice for a large group. Kissing in the street's totally normal for these people, but I don't think the people around them would necessarily say that's the normal thing to do. So again, you can alienate people when their choices aren't used, or some people just want to go and see a film and escape for 2 hours. They don't want anything else. If we do follow focus groups, they can make bad decisions. The what's in the box scene from Seven would never existed had they listened to focus groups. So sometimes it takes the creator to change, to put limits on how much the audience can choose. That's part and parcel of being an enlightened cinema audience. We now know more about the makings of films than we ever have before through behind the scenes, behind making ofs and Facebook groups, that sort of thing. But that just means that filmmakers have to roll with the punches and try and up their game to keep everyone on their toes. But don't get me wrong, I'm all for going to see a film. I don't think, I don't think that we should change it completely. I just think there should be a subgenre, like going to get to see a 3D film. You can go and see an interactive film and get involved. One that uses the traditions of cinema, but just changes them up slightly and makes it relevant to the new age, where we have choice in absolutely everything else. And that's been me. Thank you.